Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. It is time to share my favorites, recent favorites anyway. I did a poll on this channel and I have to apologize because normally when I do one of those polls, whatever ranks the highest is the video that I will do first. So I asked, which of the ones below do you want to see first? And the choices were like my recent lifestyle and makeup favorites, I think was one category. Another was Sephora sale makeup recommendations. And then the last one was a tour of my makeup collection. And by a landslide, the topic that won is the one that we're talking about today. But when I launched that poll, it had not occurred to me that if I didn't post the Sephora sale videos, that the window would be over. So that was really silly of me. I apologize. So for those of you that voted for this video, here we are. I hope you enjoy the recommendations. I've got a little makeup, I've got some shoes, I've got some clothing, one home product, a couple of home products. And then I have a few fails. Can I start off with the fails really quickly? If you watched the first of the two Sephora makeup videos that I posted, I mentioned that I purchased and then immediately decluttered the Makeup by Mario Nature Palette. This is the one that had the pops of green, 2 different greens, like a more sort of earthy, glittery green, and then kinda like a grayish green one. The grayish green color was very pretty. Anyway, the palette itself was very day to day in terms of the matte colors, very usable matte colors. The matte colors didn't transfer on my eyes exactly the way that they looked in the pan, and I'm just over palettes that don't translate onto my eyes the way that they appear in the pan. It gives me trust issues, and it makes me really skittish to use the palette because I'm not entirely sure what kind of look I'm gonna get. That aside, the matte formula itself was really nice. The shimmers that were in the palette were also fine for every day, like a day-to-day easygoing shimmer formula. The challenge was that the shimmers didn't last. So a lot of people criticized the palette because the shimmers didn't have the same impact as the original Ethereal Eyes palette that came out 2 years ago, nor like the Moonlight palette from last year that was the cool tone one with that pop of like a navy-ish midnight, maybe sort of blue. This palette from this year, the Nature palette, had softer day-to-day easy wear shimmers, which is not a problem for me at all. I don't always want to be beaming, out to the moon, into outer space, and out to the black holes in the universe. I'm okay with a soft shimmer. My challenge was that the shimmers actually faded and severely dulled out during the day. So between that and the trust issues with the color, that one was a no-go. I tried it 3 different days and ended up sending it off, to my daughter's college and for her to either have herself if she wanted it or pass on to a friend. And the other product that I had to let go of is from Danessa Myrex, which is too bad because I enjoy a lot of her products and I really like her as a makeup artist and as a human. The product is the Yummy Skin Concealer. I forget the color that I had it in, but the color was a little bit yellow for my undertone. I like maybe a warmer, more gold color. Sometimes I can go for a neutral color. I can go for sort of a peach undertone, and I can even go for a slightly rosy, cool undertone depending on the product. This product in particular was a little bit too yellow, and I didn't have the same experience that everyone else had with it. It worked the first couple of times, but then after I used it, the third, fourth, fifth time or whatever, I felt like it really settled into my fine lines. I'm a woman of a certain age. I have fine lines and I have to be careful about the kind of concealer I use and whether I set it with anything. I have to be very, very careful with that. So this one, with all the other beautiful concealers I have that do a great job and play well with my 50-year-old skin, the Yummy Skin Concealer, I had to say goodbye. And I didn't like the packaging on it. I thought the packaging was a little bit much. I don't know. I find as I get older that I want my packaging to be simpler and have less fussy wording on it. I have actually bypassed products that have probably rave reviews, but the packaging is like an advertisement. It's got way too much language on it. I'll give you an example from the recent Sephora sale. I was very interested in the CL blushes. Super cute little package, like the actual plastic or acrylic packaging on it, I thought was cute, but it had way too many words on it. And I know that sounds really silly, but it was just like distracting to me where I want to get to the point, or I am at the point rather, when I open my drawers and look for the makeup that I'm going to wear, I, for the most part, enjoy the packaging I'm looking at, and it's part of the experience for me. So the Yummy Skin Concealer was a no. So let's get into the faves of the month, and I'll start off with makeup and then move on to other products. By the way, in case you're curious what I'm wearing today, I'm wearing one of the eyeshadows I'm going to talk about. And then on these little lips of mine, I got this beautiful Lisa Eldridge What the heck is this thing called? Y'all, the memory issues are real. So this is called the Rouge Experience case. It's a nice metal case. It's got the Lisa Eldridge symbol in it, and then you can put your initials down on the bottom. So I'll cover up one of my initials there, and you can then buy the bullets to put in. They're interchangeable. So I got a few of these at Christmas time as a gift from my husband, and this is the color Audrey, which is the sort of pinky salmon color. And I do have a lip liner on, although it seems like it's oddly faded because it's so close to the color that I'm wearing. And this is called Up and Down Tan from Makeup Forever, the artist colored pencil collection. There you go. Now we're cooking with gas. Y'all, this thing with my lip, this side of my lip has always had like a jagged edge. So it makes it really challenging to put lip liner on in a uniform fashion. And like I'm low key envious of the ladies who have just the perfectly, straight lines on their lips. I'm like, oh, God didn't bless me with those. So I have to sort of overline to compensate for that. We're almost 10 minutes into this video and I haven't told you about a single product that I've been loving. So let's get into it. My apologies. This first one is a fingerprint magnet, but boy, oh boy, do I love it in many, many, many ways. This is Byredo's Bibliophilia palette. This stole my heart this year. It was one that I was going to pass on because once a year, Byredo comes out with these limited edition eyeshadow palettes. And they're this size and they all have a different symbol and a different theme for the shadows. And so I've purchased one in the past, missed out on the others, and I'm okay with that because I wasn't as crazy about the color schemes there. They're not the most sort of usable colors. And then this year, I almost bypassed this because, I'm in my small eyeshadow era. I'm loving the little handheld 4, 5, or 6 pan shadows that give me a simple look and that I can travel with. But then I saw people using these. Like I started to watch videos and I just fell in love with the looks that they were creating. Here's what the palette looks like. And so it has this cooler tone side over here and then this warmer, richer side over here. Initially, I wanted to pass because of this row up here, these sort of red berry colors. I don't always look the best in reds and berries, but it turns out that this color here is a little bit more brown, coppery, like penny colored, which I think is really nice. And then this color, I'm going to try it out during the holiday season. See how it has a little bit of an orange sort of color to it, although it looks red in the pan? And this one is actually like an aubergine, almost like a lighter version of my nail color, which is a really dark eggplant purple. So that's like a really warm toned, almost purple, which I think will actually look very nice on me. And so it's a little bit deceiving that it looks like these are red and they're actually a little bit more friendly for my eyes. I mean, speaking of eyeshadows that deceive, although these are of course closer in color to the actual color that's in the pan versus what I got from the nature palette. So those three colors aside, which I probably would use less because they're so deep, I have actually used this color, the sort of coppery one. The rest of this palette is incredibly usable for me on a day-to-day basis. I've gotten some beautiful looks, and there's something about the way these translate on the eyes. They sort of float over your eye. They're so buttery and blendable. They're impactful and pigmented. They're pigmented. They're pigmented without being overwhelming. You can build it up. You can do a little bit of wash of color, or you can build as deep as you would like. Do one layer, two or three, and I mean, they're just gorgeous. The shimmers and metallics in these are beautiful. And then the mattes themselves, they have this dash, like a little sprinkling, a little tiny, tiny bit of sheen such that they lay down beautifully. They glide so wonderfully over your eye in the crease. They don't bunch or gather or skip or tug at any of the sensitive parts of your eye socket. And sometimes for me, especially as I age, I mean, I have a lot of lid space. My brush can sometimes get sort of stuck. It can tug right in this little section and like push the skin that way, if you will. And then you got to skip and you got to buff it all out and all that sort of stuff. That doesn't happen with these shadows. This is an exquisite formula worth every dang penny of this super expensive palette because this is over $100. But the amount of product, I mean, you could probably have this for 10 years or more. still using this lightly on a daily basis or every other day or once a week or whatever, and maybe never hit pan on this enormous thing. But it's just the formulas are beyond. This is the palette of the year for me. I did not get the Danessa Myricks palette, the Lightworks palette. I know that everyone is raving about that one. You know, in the Sephora sale would have been the time to get it. The challenge with that palette is it had beautiful blues and beautiful greens that I know I would probably not use or use so infrequently that it wasn't worth it. This for me is it. This is the palette of the year for me, followed very closely. I mean, y'all, my girl Natasha Denona came for Bibliophilia this year. She didn't quite make the mark, but it was like one of those hairline finishes, you know, where the person is running, 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 and they try to get their shoulders across the line, even though their legs are behind them as they're running. This one came in hot on the heels of Bibliophilia, these two rather. These are the Natasha Denona Eye Sculpt Texture and Tone palettes. There's two. And I would say if you are medium toned like myself, get both. They're both freaking beautiful. I don't know where I have been without bibliophilia and these two my whole life. If everyone stole all of my eyeshadow and I just had to keep these three palettes, I would be a happy gal. I mean, I would be sad to say goodbye to all my other beautiful shadows. But I could get every look I want to out of these. So I started with this one, which is the Dramatic palette. It's got all these beautiful, deeper tones, warm tones. The way she's got these palettes set up is that each of these rows hits a different undertone. So this one is warm. This row, right, these three have a yellow undertone. These three have like a rosy undertone. These three, it says P for peach, but to me, these just are warm. Like I would put this row with that one. I don't really detect peach in there, but, and then this row is a neutral row, and then here you have a cool toned row. You can mix and match these all you want. They all play well with each other. Of course, I tend to stick to like if they're like neutral and warm or neutral and cool. That's kind of how I think about it, but you can mix and match these. There's the shimmer row all in the middle. You see that sort of like dark midnight purple shift there. You can use the black for eyeliner. You can use the browns for eyeliner. You can line your lips with these. If you take a clean, thin brush and just, go around the edges with these, the formula is buttery, exquisite. The pigmentation is outrageous. So this is another one where you want to have a light hand if you prefer a more airbrush soft look, and then you can build up, okay? Don't go in here all crazy. I have used many of these rows. I haven't used a lot of this last dark row. I've tapped into the black for eyeliner, but I've used the other rows quite a bit at this point. I haven't really dug into the rosy one, although I swatched it and it was beautiful. Anyway, freaking fantastic. I like the sleek, minimal packaging with the stamping of the name of the palette rather than a sticker. I find that's really classy and a nice extra step. And I like the sort of clear, darker acrylic on the back. They feel good in hand too. This one then is the soft version. And so the main critique of this palette, people were irritated that while you get a whole row of shimmer metallic type of shadows in the warm, you only get two shimmers in this palette, which is this one here and that one. Let me tell you, I have this palette on today. I have this lighter one on the inner, maybe third of my eyelid. I have this shimmer on the outside part of my eyelid. I could do a million and one different, well, maybe not a million and one. Let's just say like a dozen. Let's keep it real, okay? Not a million and one. A dozen different looks, different color schemes, if you will, out of this palette. I've worn this 3 times at this point and I thought they looked good every time. So through the crease, I have this color and then this color here to sort of deepen it. And I also deepened further with this dark color here. So this one is set up the same way where you have a rosy row, a peachy row, a yellow row, a cool toned, almost grayish, but not quite gray here, a warm toned, and then a neutral row here. And again, you can mix and match here, like I like to do, like I said, warm neutral or cool neutral. Very rarely would I do like a warm and cool together, although you can make it work depending on the thing. But I think that the two shimmer shades here are plenty to have some fun with all of the colors in this palette. You can also layer these over the colors to give you sort of different variety of effects. So these two are hero palettes together. This is amazing. So these three, the Bibliophilia and the Natasha Denona, I mean, they won it. So Bibliophilia gets the gold medal and it wins by like a tenth of a point, you know, a 10 out of 10, whereas this one comes in at 9.9, the Natasha Denona's. I don't have any complaints with the Natasha Denona's, but it's just the Bibliophilia formula is just a tad more, I don't know, dreamy than the Natasha Denona one, even though they're both amazing. So I shared in my Sephora recommendations video 3 foundations that I was loving: the Givenchy Prisma Libre foundation, the Laura Mercier Weightless something or other, the newer one, and then the Natasha Denona High Glam. All beautiful, beautiful formulas. So as not to repeat those, I'll share a new foundation that I did pick up in the Sephora sale that I immediately fell in love with as well. There's some products there's a lot of products that I just love. I would say eyeshadow, bronzer, foundation, and then lipstick. Lip products are, I'm just have an obsession. So this is the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin. Oh my gosh, just long name. Natural Finish Foundation. Surreal Skin Natural Finish Foundation. The way that you know it's new is that it's got the silver, I think the other one has a gold. But this is silver and has the white cap and the white lettering. The original one, I think, has the black lettering. So that's how you know the difference if you get confused. I'm in the color 16.5 neutral in this one. I'm wearing it today. And let me just come in close. Now remember, hold on, let me adjust my microphone so it catches my voice properly as well. I've got a lot of texture on my cheeks. I have little deposits and so forth from, I don't know what. They're like little fatty deposits. I've got a lot of large pores and, texture from being a teenager and picking at my face. I love that this foundation feels pretty natural on my skin. I mean, I feel like it looks like a second skin. It definitely feels second skin like. It's still showing my sort of natural moisture through, but it's giving me a nice sort of even skin tone while still allowing my face to look natural. I feel like I look like myself. I don't look cakey, I don't look overdone. I don't think so anyway. I think it looks pretty nice. So this is wonderful. I've worn it twice now, so this is my third time wearing it, and it has lasted. It'll take me through dinner time. Like I put it on in the morning. For me, I want it to last through dinner. And for me, dinner, well, after dinner. Like after dinner is probably in the 7 to 8 o'clock range at this house, and this is still going strong. All foundations, no matter what, except for one that I'll talk about in a second, do a little bit of breaking up around my nose, like this little section here. But the good foundations will typically stay put around the rest of my face. The only foundation that has looked better than the others, because it still does a little tiny bit of breaking up, but I mean, it stays pretty much in place, that has not done that full breakup thing around this line here, because that's a really oily spot for me, is the Tom Ford Architecture. I think it's like a whole called Soft Architecture Matte whatever foundation, the newer one that's in the square bottle. I love that. I have that in 2 colors. But anyway, this one, which is the product I'm featuring, is fantastic. Then I want to shout out a new concealer that everyone was raving about, so I decided to pick it up in the Sephora sale too, and I can firmly say that people are telling you the truth. So this is from the brand Sarah Creal, and I think that's how you say it. Creal. I'm gonna go with Creal. My understanding is that these products are formulated with us more mature ladies in mind. So this is the Face Flex Concealer and Complexion Enhancer. It's designed to use under the eye as well as to spot correct. And this is an interesting thing. With foundation, if it's thin enough, and with concealer, depending on the texture of it and the thickness and what you like, you can use either one all over your face. And you don't really need separate concealer and separate formula. Except that, under your eyes is the most delicate skin on your face and the thinnest. And so, in that sense, at our age, you may want something that really moves with your skin rather than breaking up or settling in or whatever. And so, I have this on today. This is the color 5.0, medium neutral. So, it's designed to really sort of flex with the skin under your eye, not settle in. I think it did a pretty decent job. I didn't use a lot today. I literally just dot, dot, That's it, and then I tapped it out with my finger. I suppose I could get more coverage if I used more, but I did not. So, that's the Sarah Creal Face Flex Concealer and Complexion Enhancer. I give this a big thumbs up for us ladies of a certain age. And then I guess this counts in the makeup space. I don't even know if this brush is sold anymore, but I wanted to shout out the brand overall, and that is a face brush from Sonia Kashuk. So these are sold at Target. Did I get you at Target? I think I did purchase this at Target, and I have other Sonia Kashuk brushes. These are fantastic. The reason I thought about this brush is because I know that Tati Westbrook released a new brush line. I know that BK Beauty released a new Nikki LaRose collaboration. There's other brushes that are getting hyped up or were hyped up in the Sephora sale and whatever. And I kept thinking, all of those brushes are fantastic. I'd love to have all of those. And I have a lot of brushes. I didn't buy any of the Tati sets. Have you? What do you think? What do you think? The Tati sets reminded me so much of the Sonia Kashuk brushes, which is a brand that she shouted out quite a lot when she first started her channel. And they are, in my estimation, very high quality brushes for not breaking the bank prices. You get Target prices. I think I purchased this brush maybe between 20 and $30. But if someone were to tell me that this was an 80 to $100 or more brush, I would believe them because it is fantastic. So, what I like about this brush is that it has this sort of oblong shape and it is angled. And so I use this for concealer, not concealer. Pardon me. I use it for bronzer, around the perimeter of my face. And it is so soft and so big and so fluffy. I do the bronzer under my chin and jawline. Oh my gosh, I got something in my hair. Oh no, that's my ear. Y'all, don't mind me. Anyway, you know, this covers your whole face. You can use it for face powder if you want as well. I have a lot of brushes. I have BK Beauty brushes. I have Wayne Goss brushes. I have Refer brushes. I have Sonia G brushes, the expensive Sonia G brushes, and a lot of others that I can't recall. I have IT brushes. I have even lower end like Real Techniques and Morphe brushes. The Sonia Kashuk brushes are phenomenal. This line in particular that has the black shafts on them, check these out at Target. You can see them online as well. All of the powder brushes for the face are phenomenal. And the big fluffy brushes for your crease and all of that are great too. So big shout out to the Sonia Kashuk brushes. Are they still sold? Hang on, please, because I'm over here advertising them to you all. And I don't even know if they're still at Target. They certainly are. They certainly are. There is a line that has a gold shaft. Those are beautiful too. But the line that I personally love the most is called the Professional Brush Collection. And this brush is called the bronzing brush and it's out there for $24. I would pay $150 for this brush. That's how wonderful it is to me. Love this. Okay, so I want to show you two different pair of shoes that I am head over heels for. See what I did there? Head over heels. Anyway, and then I have some shirts and then a blanket. A blanket. Yes. None of this is sponsored. I sure wish it was. It'd be a lot cheaper if it was sponsored and sent to me. Anyway, I was seeing ads for shoes that look like men's shoes made for women. Like that's a whole trend now. Women are wearing like the trouser pants that would typically be for men that are a little bit sort of wider legged. And they're wearing loafers that are styled after men's loafer shoes, but obviously sized for women. And they come in different brands, obviously, in different price ranges. I mean, you can get really, really ridiculous. Like up to is the brand called the Row. Mary, Kate, and Ashley, the Olsen twins, own that brand, The Row. And I believe they sell a shoe like this that is up in like the $1,500 or more range. I don't even remember because I'm like, I'm not, that's way, way beyond my range. And then I saw some other ones like this that were in the $300 range. And that was still like, I don't know. Like I have my comfort levels. And by the way, it's not that I don't think you should never pay that for a pair of shoes. Yeah, go for it. We just all have like our comfort levels with different price ranges for things and what we're willing to pay. So then I was looking up different loafers, like women's loafers that were styled after men's shoes, and came across a brand that I'd never heard of called Tony Bianco. Apparently, they had been around on social media for a while, and there was a comparable shoe that I thought I would be interested in. Okay, ready? So, allow me to introduce you to a shoe that I fell absolutely in love with. These are the Gatsby shoes from Tony Bianco. So they are like ruched around the front, which is a style now. You can see in the camera that these are really lovely, supple leather. These were, I don't know exactly what they cost because I got them on sale. I want to say they were like 180, and that was still for me like, "Ugh, I don't want to pay that much for a pair of shoes." Not that, again, that it's not worth it. It's just that I know myself and I know I would want multiple pairs and then they start to add up. Okay. So, leather upper, where you save on these is that they have a man made sole. And so that's what they look like on the backside. They've got a nice, sturdy heel on them. When I took these out of the box, they took a while to arrive because these are out of Australia. I put these on, and when I tell you, they fit like butter with an A on the end. Butter. Beautiful fit, really comfortable. These are an 8.5, which is my true shoe size. Although sometimes I now wear, you want to hear something weird? Since losing weight, I now fit into size 8 shoes. I didn't realize my feet were fat. Does that happen to you? And there were times when I was in a 9. Anyway, these are a true 8.5. The leather is so supple and soft, and what I really, really love is they don't rub on my heels back here because I have that problem with just about all my shoes where you'll see with another pair that I'm talking about what I mean. The back part here, takes a little bit of like breaking in on the back of my foot. These felt like a second skin. They were amazing. I was like, "Oh, we were meant to be together." I will be taking these on my next work trip and Imma look chic. Okay? Imma be put together. These are beautiful. I love these so much that I ordered them in a second color. I don't know how to pronounce the color. I think it's brown anguilla, anguille, like anguilla. And these have a little bit more of like an animal print, but look at that. Freaking cute. I would have never in a million years, like if you had caught me maybe 15, 20 years ago, told you that I would be loving these kinds of like men's looking shoes on women, but it's a trend now. And since I'm in my flat shoe era, because mama didn't wear the heels anymore like I used to. If you are newer to my channel, I used to work in an office. I would go in with a full suit, or like I would mix and match, suit with tops or suit top with regular bottoms or whatever, something formal. And I wore 4 and 5 inch heels to work every freaking day. It was a rare day if I had a 3 or a 2 inch heel. Everyone in the office knew me for my clickety clackety heels that I was coming down the hallway. You would never see me in a pair of flat shoes. And now it's the opposite. You would rarely see me in a pair of heels. I don't even remember the last time I wore a pair of heels. I don't really have occasion to wear heels these days. This is the look. This, a nice pair of slacks from like Ann Taylor, and one of my Luxair shirts or my Banana Republic shirts or any number of shirts that I've talked about, a quince sweater, something like that. That is my style these days. So I got these two. So anyway, I think with the sale on these, because I have like a coupon code, each of these pair, I'll show you one of the black and one of the brown. I think I got these for, I want to say like 130 to 150 or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to be rocking these to my work events. Now, you've seen these before in one of my favorites videos, but I ended up getting a different brand and different colors. So these will look a little bit orthopedic to you. Hang on, I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. These I got off of Amazon. I came across a brand called Vespiero. I mean, these brand names on Amazon, I'm like, who? What? Look at these. Look at these loafers. Are these not the freaking cutest? So this is almost like a chambray color, almost like well, they're not blue, they're like a grayish color. And this is what I mean by the orthopedic part. So most shoes rub the back of my heels a little bit, and I have to put these sort of bumpers on them that you can also get off of Amazon. Just look for like heel guards or whatever, and they stick to the back of your shoe. But these, they have rubber bottoms. I have worn these, so I'm putting my hands on the nasty bottoms of these. Sorry about that. Somebody out there is super grossed out by that. My apologies for triggering you. Anyway, I really, really love the pattern on these. Look how pretty that is. And these, they have a little bit of a like a square toe look, even though it's round on the actual outer part. Very comfortable, nice sole. I mean, I wouldn't wear these maybe as long as the other ones that I showed you, but have run errands in these and been very comfortable for like short errands and things like that. And these were maybe in the $30 to $40 range. I got them in this color, and then I also got them in your regular black, for everyday wear. They also come in a super fuchsia hot pink, which I was tempted to pick up. I know myself and I know I won't wear them. I will probably just admire those from afar. They also come in a more blue color like this. I'll link all this below. And these should be in my Amazon storefront as well. I mean, just adorable, come in different colors, really easy to pop on a pair of leggings or a pair of jeans and then run your errands in these. Let me go wash my hands before I gross y'all out. So then in the clothing department, what I'm wearing. Okay, let's talk about this for a quick second or a long second because it deserves it. Again, this is a brand that I came across as I was doom scrolling. It's called OGL Move, and it stands for something like original, grateful, and I think the L stands for love. I don't know. I believe that it's out of China or another Asian country. I'm not sure. It took a long, long time for the products to get to me. And by a long time, I'm saying maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I took a chance because I'd never heard of the brand. Never heard anyone talk about them. Ended up looking up reviews. I think I found some reviews on Reddit. I mean, Reddit is its own rabbit hole. And I'm always nervous to look for anything on there because people can be really, I don't know, they can be really catty on Reddit. But it was the only place that I saw reviews. Anyway, this shirt, let me see if I can pop up a little bit here so you can see what it looks like. I love this thing. It crosses over. Let me pause to say that the color scheme on this video is all over the place. Like right now, I look like an orange Oompa Loompa. I tried to account for that in the color settings of the video, but the light coming in and out of the room is wreaking havoc on the way that the camera is picking up color and what it's doing to the coloring in the video. So I apologize. I know that's really weird looking. For example, this blue shirt that I'm wearing is actually like a dusty pale blue versus the vibrant color that it's appearing to be on screen. So I apologize. I did try to account for that and adjust the settings, but it's a little all over the place and it is what it is. Sorry, friends. And it's really, really comfortable and super duper stretchy. So I have mine in the color small, not the color small. I might need a little snack. I have mine in the size small. And I forget what this color's called, but you'll know when you see it. It's like something mist or something frost. But I ended up purchasing a bunch. I think I bought two or three. I'm going to show you the colors that I have. And when this arrived, I felt so immediately comfortable. It was easy to put on. I mean, it is stretchy. You feel like you have pajamas on. It's so freaking comfortable and it looks really nice. Like like, it's got a nice little ruching on the side. It looks great with leggings. It looks great with jeans. It looks great with trousers, like dress pants or whatever. And so you all have seen if you're sorry, I'm dropping stuff all over the place. I don't remember if I've worn this on this channel, but I definitely have done a video on the other channel with this color. And this is what it comes looking like. But when you put it on, as you see, it does this crisscrossy thing at the neck, which I think is just, I don't know, it feels like a little bit old school glam, like a little Hollywood casual glam. And I really, really like that. So I got it in this color. I have it in this like brownie tobacco, like dark tobacco color. I ended up getting it in like this stone maybe beigey color. I got it in black because, you need everything in black. That's the name of the brand, OGL. I also got it in like this bluish greenish color here. And finally in this beautiful plum color. This is the color of the season for me. I'm really enjoying wearing these kind of purpley, super dark, deep, pinky, fuchsia types of colors. So what's that? One, two, three, four, five shirts in the same style because that's me. If I like it, I probably want it in every single color. I wear these during the day working from home and I think they look great on camera and I feel dressed up but comfortable. And because I like the brand so much, I ordered other kinds of shirts. Hang on, there's more. I truly do love shirts that like crisscross in the front. I think they can be very flattering, especially if you're a little bustier. I'm not quite as busty as I used to be since I went down in sizes, but I still have a little bit, a little something up there. Anyway, I really like these shirts. These come down a little bit lower. I mean, you can, pin them together if you have a big chest and don't want that to show through, or you can just sort of hold them over each other. They lay very nicely on the chest. And they're intended to be, excuse me, you can not intended, you can tuck them in, but I don't tuck these in. It has a little bit of a band on it, but it's not, I mean, it's elastic, but anyway, it's comfortable. I don't even feel like it has a band when you're wearing it. And it's got the nice cuff. I got this in like this dark chocolate brown, of course, in black. And I feel like I have another color that I did not find in my closet when I was pulling for these, like a third color. But these are mega, mega stretchy, super duper comfortable, very easy to wear. I also ended up trying out and loving, and now I want all the colors that are available, and I can't wait till they get more colors. This is one that I wore recently in the Sephora recommendations video, and it's like cut on a bias where it comes up on your neck like that and sort of shows a little bit of shoulder, little tiny bit of shoulder. This also has the ruching on the side and very, very ridiculously stretchy fabric. And then I got the same cut in this like plum color. Is this not the most beautiful thing? One thing to know about these, and if you ever shop on the site, keep an eye open for whether it comes with a bra or not. So this one has like a built-in bra, which it's neither here nor there for me. I like my own. I'm still rocking my Comfeely bras, if you remember that from my previous videos. But it has a very easygoing, like stretchy, bra on the inside that could be convenient for some. So the fabric for all of the shirts I just showed you is called the Eco Mousse fabric. This is not sponsored either. I would love a sponsorship with OGL Move, but that's not why I'm showing these to you. I'm showing these to you because they are fabulous. Oh, OGL stands for ongoing gratitude, love, whatever. This is the Eco Mousse fabric. It talks about it having premium warmth, excellent heat retention, long lasting softness, and four-way stretch. High quality, made from Dralon, probably Dralon, acrylic fiber. I can't express to you just how cozy and comfortable these are. I want all the tops in all the colors. It is warm, but it's not overwhelmingly warm. I don't feel like I'm in a sweater. I feel like I'm in a hug. It feels like a hug, like a shirt that's intended to hug you. And I love these colors more than I thought I would. They look really good on camera. Then I have one final product that I am absolutely loving, and I cannot recommend this enough. This is a big splurge, although I would say wait till they have their sales. I think the one I'm going to show you at 40% off of their already ridiculous prices. And even with the 40% off, I was like, oh, that's steep. And then I got a second one at 55% off because I loved it so much. I mean, that just tells you how marked up these items are, that they can go on that deep of a discount and still make a profit. But I don't even care because they are amazing. Oh, this is so heavy. Look at this. Look. Would you look at this? Do you remember that audio from back in the Instagram days? I'm not on Instagram really anymore. So I just can I just say goodnight and like wrap up in this? This is huge. This is an enormous blanket. The brand is called Lola Blankets. It has this little like suede leathery tag on here. These are freaking heavy. This is maybe 5 pounds of fabric. It feels like 15 pounds. It's a heavy blanket. It is the softest. It feels like you're touching puppy hair. You know how they have like the softest little baby hair on their little bodies? It's so freaking comfortable. It's huge. It's fluffy and squishy. I've never felt anything this soft. I've never felt anything this soft. Also, not sponsored. Boy, do I wish that it was. I want all of the freaking Lola blankets. Let me see what color I ordered this in because this is the size large. So my husband and I have a queen size bed and it covers the top of the queen size bed, but it doesn't have enough fabric to go over the sides. So when we tried to sleep under it one night, and it's a very slippery thing because it's so soft, like it slips and slides a lot. I ended up sort of pulling it to my side, and then he was cold. So I ordered an extra large in the same color, and I'm gonna put this down on the couch to curl up under when I watch movies. This color is called Toasted Almond. They have beautiful colors. They have creams, they have browns, they have grays, they have like mixed colors. They have two-sided blankets where one side is one color and the other side is the other color. I know that there's a bunch of companies that have similar looking blankets. I really don't know if they're all like from the same plant with different names on them, same manufacturing plant. I have no idea. All I can tell you with confidence is I ordered the Lola blankets, and the feeling of this is heaven on earth. If you have a bad day, it's the kind of thing where you put your pajamas on and you wrap this around yourself. Like, there are advertisements of this, of like the people just wrapping this around themselves and sitting on the couch to work, to eat, to watch a movie. And I get it. I so get why that's the advertisement, because that's what this feels like. This feels like a cocoon, a cocoon. Did anybody watch Mork and Mindy? Is that what the show was called with Robin Williams? When he came out of the egg? He's an alien that came out of the egg. Well, he wasn't an alien. Was he an alien? I don't remember. But, he had the red suit on. Nanu Nanu, Mork and Mindy. This is probably what's in that egg that cradled him till he came to Earth. This is so freaking fantastic, so worth every penny. It feels like real fur. If you've ever felt a real fur coat, I realize those are frowned upon now, but imagine you had a vintage fur coat and you touched it. The feeling, oh my God, it is just divinely, exquisitely, supremely soft and fluffy, and just the coziest, coziest thing. I cannot speak highly enough about these Lola blankets. And no, I don't have a freaking affiliate code or anything. Lola Blankets, give me an affiliate code for my people so they can get a discount. If I find somebody else's discount code, I'll put it below. I used somebody's 55, and then Bethany Frankel has one too. She's advertising these. I think hers was Bethany 55. Whatever. I'll put a code down if I can find it. Whatever their look at this. Oh my gosh. Whatever their more recent codes are. All right, friends. Whew. That was a long one, but let me tell you, I have been loving these products. So I hope that you will enjoy and indulge and treat yourself to something, whether it's something in this video or something else that you've had your eye on. I would love to know if you have tried any of these products, and if you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree, that's okay too. If you've ordered OGL and hated them, it is okay to share that down in the comments. I promise not to be offended. Just keep it cute in the comments. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.